All right, so we'll start in child's pose. Let me turn the mic on. There we go. Now we'll start in child's pose. So go ahead and come down to your mat, widen your knees to the width of your mat, and then go ahead and bring your forehead all the way down onto the mat. Stretch your arms out nice and long. Take a big inhale. And on your exhale, walk your fingers out a little bit further. Take another big, long, slow inhale. And on your exhale, walk your fingers out a little bit further. Let your forehead come all the way down to the mat. Get nice and heavy on your third eye. And then gently rock your forehead right to left. Massaging your forehead, your third eye. Breathing nice and slow, but deep and wide. Go ahead and walk your hands over to the right. See if you can twist your torso slightly to line your belly button up with your right knee. Walk your right fingertips out a little bit wider. And then place your left palm on top of your right. Press down with your left hand. Maybe slightly turn your head to the right. Feel your spine lengthen. And then exhale, relax, let your torso get heavy. Breathe here. Slowly come out of this, walk yourself through center, all the way over to the left. Taking the time to draw your belly button in and maybe twist your torso, seeing how aligned you can get your belly button with your left knee. Walk your left hand out as far as you can, pitter-pattering those fingers, maybe even a little bit to the left. And then place the right hand on top of the left hand. Press down into the back of your palm. Breathe into your side rib. Feeling your body expand, and then let it get heavy. Let your shoulders relax from your ears. Breathing wide. Now go ahead and walk yourself back to center. Wide knee child's pose, fingertips out far in front of you. Slowly walk your hands up towards your legs. And then if you can, come up to sit on your heels. Maybe gently use your fingers to either side to lengthen your spine up. Breathe here, feeling a stretch through your thighs, maybe even through your shins. Now we're going to carefully and slowly shift our weight so that we can come into a comfortable seated position. It is your choice to sit up on a blanket or a block here. We will be using blocks today or block-like items, so if you have those, go ahead and get those handy. We're going to start with a big circle of our torso. You can hold on to your knees or keep your arms planted on the ground beside you. What I want you to think about doing is bringing your chest, your collarbone out past your kneecaps and then backwards past your hips. So how big and full can you make this circle? Inhaling as you come forward and exhaling as you reverse. Next time you're at the front of your mat, go ahead and switch direction. Exhaling back and still inhaling forward. One more big circle. And then come to center. Think about growing tall. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and then let them relax down. Hug your shoulders up to your ears and then let them relax down. One more time, hug those shoulders up and then let them relax. We're going to bring our arms out in front of us, flexing our palms like we're stopping traffic. And then gently take the left hand and draw the right fingertips back towards your shoulder. Stretching through your forearm. And now gently switch sides, flex your left palm and carefully draw those left fingertips towards you. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms, press them towards me. Relax your shoulders. Notice if they crept up by your ears. And now lift your palms up to the ceiling, bringing your biceps to either side of your ears. Lengthen your tailbone, draw your belly button in, feel yourself grow tall. And then exhale, bend to the right. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. So we want to create a pendulum style movement where we inhale in one direction and exhale in the other direction. Come back to center, reach those fingertips up to the ceiling, and on your exhale, twist to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee, bring your right hand behind you. Guide your vision, your eyes over your right shoulder. Keeping your left hand on your right knee, reach your right arm out to the side, up by your right ear, and over to the left. Big side body stretch. Press your right hip down to the earth. Come back up to center. Reach your arms out in front. This time, drop your fingertips to the floor, stretching through your forearms. So it's the opposite of the stop traffic. Take your left hand and gently press your fingers, give a little bit more tension. And now switch hands, pressing the left fingertips towards you, palms towards your face, fingertips down to the earth. Interlace your fingers, the other finger on top, flip your palms towards me, lift them up to the ceiling. And then if you can remember, inhale to the left, exhale to the right. So that should be the opposite of what you did last time. If it's not, don't worry about it. Just like to keep this balanced feeling if possible. One more time. And then come up to center. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. And on your exhale, twist to the left. Bringing your right hand to your right knee and looking over your left shoulder. Breathe here. Holding onto your right knee or your left knee, reach your left arm up by your ear and then over to the right. Big side stretch. Pressing your hip down. As you come back to center, we're going to make our way into our tabletop position. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Check that your toes are straight behind your knees. So when you look down through the center between your legs, you should not see your feet. Engage your glutes. Check if your hips are back too far or forward too far and see if you can find that perfect alignment in your body where your hips are directly over your knees. Press your shins and the tops of your feet into the mat. And now look at your hands. Are they directly under your shoulders? Or are they a little bit out in front of you? Both of those are okay, but make sure they're not too far out in front and definitely not close to your knees. As you're lifting your belly button up to your spine, you should feel like you're levitating. You know, that's not possible, but you want this feeling that you're almost floating. And then drop the belly, open the heart, come into a big cow pose. Think about rolling your shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale to cow. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Come back to neutral. Extend your left leg behind you. Extend your right fingers out in front. We're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. So we're working on our balance here. 2 more. And then we're going to keep our arm and leg lifted. And now we're going to pull our elbow and knee to the side and then extend back out. Knee and elbow to the side, extend back out. You need to keep your torso, your core engaged and active as we move into these wobbly positions. 1 more. And then return your hand and your knee underneath your shoulders. Take a cleansing breath here, reset, extend your right leg back, your left arm forward, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Notice if your back is swaying. Think about engaging that belly button up. Spine is straight from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. 1 more, hold it up here, and now knee to the side, elbow to the side. Extend back to front. Knee to the side, elbow to the side. Notice where you're pressing down into your hands and your shin. You want to make sure that your weight is distributed evenly and that you're not dumping into a pressure point. 1 more. And then return the knee, return the hand. Go ahead and take a little wiggle, a little snake-like flow if that feels good, rolling everything out. We're going to curl our toes under, drag our hips up to the ceiling, coming into our downward facing dog. Breathe here, lengthening through your spine, letting your heels get heavy. Take 1 more breath. Slide your right foot up between your hands. Lower your right knee down. Untuck your toes. Bring your arms up by your ears. Pause here. Feel nice and straight through this 90-90 position. This is where we may want our blocks. As you come forward, we're going to straighten our front leg, flex our toes up to the ceiling, coming into our half split. Keeping your spine long, toes reaching straight up or towards your face. And from here, we're going to roll our way back into our right foot. We're going to curl our left toes under, and we're going to slide our right leg up into a 3-legged dog. Reach your right heel up to the ceiling. Lengthen. Now bend your right knee, open your hip, bringing your right knee up to the ceiling. Re-extend your right leg, slide your right foot to the outside of your right hand, coming into a lizard, lowering the knee down. If you need your blocks to keep your chest open, go ahead and bring those to the inside of your legs. Breathe here. Feel that deep opening through your right hip. Slide the blocks out of the way. Step back to downward facing dog. All right, let's do that on the other leg. Slide the left leg up between your hands. Lower your right knee and tuck your toes. Come up to your 90-90. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Press down into your right shin. You should feel some engagement through the right hip, front hip. And now if you want, grab your blocks, Shift your hips. Flex your left toes up to the ceiling, coming into your half split. Keep your spine long. We don't want to round over, but we also don't want to arch our back. So you're thinking about drawing your tailbone down, drawing your belly in. Nice. Now, as we roll into our left foot, we curl our right toes. We're going to let our left leg come all the way up behind us into a three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, opening the hip out to the left. And now when we step forward, we're going to step our left foot to the outside of our left hand, lowering our right knee, coming into a lizard. Holding our chest up and open, whether our hands are on the ground or on the blocks. Breathe here. Curl your right toes under, step yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out or take some slow breaths in stillness, but we're going to be here for a couple more breaths. Realigning. All right, slide the right foot back up between your hands. Lower your left knee down. This time you're going to shift it back just an inch, untuck your toes, reach your arms up, coming into a crescent lunge, and then pull your elbows open into cactus, coming into that lovely early back. Breathe here. One more breath, and then shift forward, coming into your half split with or without your blocks. Flex your right toes. Feel a deep stretch through your right hamstring. Breathe here. And now exhale, round forward. That shifts the stretch maybe a little bit further up the back of your leg. Now shift your weight back into your right foot, plant your hands, curl your left toes under, bring your right leg up behind you for a three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open it back up. Bend and open. Bend and open. Bring the right foot to the outer edge of the right hand, coming into your lizard. If you want, you can still lower the left knee down. And we're going to come forward, bringing our forearms onto our blocks or onto the ground. And then in this forward folded lizard, maybe lifting your left knee off the ground, but elongating your spine from the crown of your head towards your heel. How long can you make your body? Make sure you're pressing into your forearms and you're not dumping into your elbows. Lift that belly button up, draw that tailbone back, feel your hips start to loosen and open. Go ahead and put that knee down, slide the blocks out of the way, step yourself back into your downward facing dog. Breathe here. Slide your left foot up between your hands, lower your right knee. Shimmy it back an inch, reach your arms up, coming into your crescent lunge, and pull your arms into your cactus. Breathe here. Nice and open, hips engaged, pressing down through that shin, keeping your balance. And then exhale, hips back, coming into your half split with or without your blocks. Lengthen your spine nice and long, and then exhale, fold forward. Notice if your right hip is popping over to the right, and see if you can draw it back into that center line. And then roll your weight onto your left foot, curl your right toes under, float your left leg up behind you into three-legged dog. And then bend the left knee, straighten. Bend and straighten. One more time. And now bring the left foot to the outer edge of the left hand, coming into lizard, lowering your right knee down, finding your blocks or your forearms all the way down on the mat. And if you want, lift the right knee back up, getting nice and long. Press down into your left foot so your hips square to the floor. Breathe here. Slide those blocks out of the way. If you're using them, step back to downward facing dog. 3 long, deep breaths here. Think about pressing into your fingertips and the backs of your palms, letting your heels get heavy. But notice if you're pressing into the pads of all 10 toes. All right, slide the right foot up between your hands. Lower the left knee down, shift it back. Reach up into your crescent lunge. And then exhale, twist open to the right. Breathe here. You want to take it a step further, bring your hands to heart center, hook your left knee, hook your left elbow on your right knee, curl your toes under, and lift up into that twisted low lunge. Nice. Return your left knee to the ground, untwist, shift back, split. If you're like, I'm going for a full split, go for it. I'm gonna hang out here in my half. All right, I'm gonna roll onto my right foot, tuck my left toes, and then send my right leg up behind me, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee nice and open. Now we're gonna take big hip circles. So bring the right knee out and then to the right elbow and towards the right hip and open to the ceiling, out, elbow, open to the ceiling. One more time. Extending the right leg back behind you, nice and long. And then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand coming into lizard. Lower the left knee down. With your left hand on a blocker on the ground, you're going to reach your right arm up and reach it back, maybe bending your left foot onto the outer edge of your left foot, coming into a twist, feeling the quad stretch. Breathe here. Release the left foot, come back to downward facing dog. Slide the left foot up between your hands, lower your right knee, shift your right knee back. Bring your arms all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, twist to the left. Take it a little bit further, bring your hands to heart center. Hook your right knee, right elbow on your left knee. Maybe even lift your right foot off the ground. Reaching the heel back. Finding the twist through the torso and not through the shoulders. One more breath here, and then unwind. Lower your right knee into a half split or a full split. You always have to offer. Yours to take it or not. One more breath here. And then we roll onto our left foot, curl our right toe, lift our left leg up into the air. Bend the left knee. Big hip circles. So left knee to the ceiling, to the left elbow, to the hip, ceiling, elbow. One more. And then extend the leg up behind you. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, lower your right knee coming into your lizard pose. Reach your left arm up and all the way back, bend your right foot, hold on to the outer edge, the pinky toe side, breathe here. One more breath. And release that, come back to downward facing dog. We'll hold here in stillness or pedal it out, lifting those hips up behind you. And then gaze forward at your heels and slowly walk your feet up towards the front of your mat, coming into your deep forward fold. Reach for opposite elbows, gently bend your knees, and then let your hips sway side to side. Release your elbows and slowly roll up. Nice and slow, coming all the way up to stand. Take a moment here to check your alignment. Are your shoulders over your hips over your knees over your ankles? Let your fingertips relax by your side. Let's do some sun salutation. So inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, slide your right leg back, pausing your low lunge. Slide your left leg back, holding your plank. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin, untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Step your right foot up between your hands, pause in your low lunge. Step your left foot up into forward fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, fold right back down again. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, slide your left leg back. Pause here. Slide your right foot back to plank. Lower your knees. Bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward to meet it. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, palms touch. Exhale your hands down by your sides. Take a breath to check in. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, step or float back to plank. We're going to lower all the way down to a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, onto our stomachs. Untuck our toes. Place our forehead on the ground. Reach our arms back behind us. Interlace our fingers. And then lift everything up. Legs pressing together, toes pressing together. Lift your legs up off the mat. Lift your chest, shoulders, and head. Take one more long, slow breath here, and then exhale everything back down. Press up through plank or tabletop to downward facing dog. Look forward at your hands and step or float into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step, float back to plank. Lower down all the way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes, reach your arms behind you. Interlace the other thumb on top. Forehead down on the mat. And then pulling your toes away from you, lifting your knuckles away from your back. Make sure you're breathing here. Let your shoulders roll down away from your ears. One more cycle of breath. And then release. Press up through tabletop or into plank to downward facing dog. Gaze forward at your hands and step or float your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step or float back. Chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. 2 more long, slow breaths. Gaze forward at your hands. Bring your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, right back down again. Last one, inhale, flat back. Exhale, back to plank. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Untuck your toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slow breaths. Reaching your hips up, lengthening your spine. And then gaze forward to your hands. Step or float your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, palms touch overhead. Exhale your hands down by your side. Breathe here. Slow your breath down. Realign. All right. We are going to build a very interesting, fun, powerful flow this morning. All right. So take one more breath, get ready, and then sit back into your chair pose. So make sure that your feet are hip distance apart, your hips are back, your weight is in the heel. Breathe here. Slide your right leg back behind you, coming into a high lunge, making sure that your hips are square to the front of the mat. And then we're going to lower our right knee down and then lift it back up. Lower the right knee down, lift it back up. Lower the right knee down, lift it back up. One more time. And now from here, we're going to reach our arms forward, hinging our torso, reaching our arms back, coming into our power lunge. So almost all of our weight is on our left foot. Breathe here. And then we're going to curtsy our right leg behind our left, and then step back to our lunge. Curtsy the leg behind the left, and then step back to our lunge. Leg back, and up. Leg to the curtsy, leg to the power lunge. And now we'll land in the curtsy, and we're going to hold here. Breathe here. We're going to make our way into tree. So shifting your weight onto your left foot, draw your right foot up into your tree pose. Your foot can be below your knee or above your knee. Draw your knee forward. Extend back into warrior three. Bend your left knee, tap your right toes down, plant your hands, step into plank. Go through your version of your chaturanga or your vinyasa, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathing here. 3 breaths. One more. And then walk or float your feet up towards your hands. Sit back in your chair pose. Sitting here in chair with the weight in your heels, drawing your belly button in, lengthening your spine. Slide your left foot back behind you into a high lunge, and then lower the left knee to the ground, straighten it back up. Lower the left knee to the ground, straighten it back up. Left knee down, and lift. Takes a lot of control. A little bit of wobble is going to happen, and that is okay. Last one, left leg straight, hinge forward, sweep your arms back. You're in your power lunge. All the weight, almost all the weight is in your right foot. You're going to bring your left leg behind you for a curtsy lunge, and then back to a high lunge. Curtsy lunge to a high lunge. Curtsy lunge to a high lunge. 2 more. 1 more. And now land in that curtsy lunge. Breathe here. Shift the weight into the right foot. Draw your left foot up into tree, either below your knee or above your knee. Stand tall. Catch your breath. Draw your left knee forward and then extend your left leg back, bringing your hands down into a low lunge. Slide your right foot back. Go through your version of your vinyasa and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Gaze forward at your hands and walk or float your feet up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale your hands down by your side. We're going to go through that again, making some changes, making some additions. And then sit back into your chair pose. Breathe here. Slide your right leg back behind you. High lunge. Feel the stretch through your right hip. Lower your right knee and tap. This time, open your arms. Lower, bring your arms up. Exhale, open. Tap. 2 more. 1 more. And then bring your arms behind you, hinging forward. Interlace your fingers, lengthen your spine. Feel the opening through your chest, through the tops of your shoulders. Breathe here. Step your right foot behind you, coming into your curtsy lunge, and then step into your high lunge. Curtsy lunge, high lunge. Think of your balance. Slow this down to control your wobbles. And let's end in our curtsy lunge. Breathe here. Shift your weight into your left foot. Draw your right foot up into tree, below or above the knee. Reach your arms up. Long tree branches. Bring the right knee forward, flex the right foot, hinge forward into your warrior 3. Torso is straight, parallel to the floor, hips are even. 1 more breath. And then step back, exiting into warrior 2. Left knee bent, right leg long. Breathe here. Straighten your arms overhead. Exhale, melt back into warrior 2. Lengthen and straighten. Exhale, melt back down. 1 more time, lengthen and straighten. Exhale, melt back down. Turn your left palm up. Exhale back, peaceful warrior. Breathe here. Come back to warrior 2. Straighten your left leg. Turn your right toes in. Bring your arms up. Bend down to goddess. Straighten to flying warrior. Exhale to goddess. Lengthen to flying warrior. Exhale to goddess. Lengthen and straighten. Pull down. Exhale. Come back into your warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down. Lift up your right heel. You're in your low lunge. Plant your right hand, twist up to the left, looking up at your left palm. And then if you want to continue, roll onto the right foot, coming into your side plank. Holding here, pressing and lifting your hips up and away from the mat. Come back to high plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa, and we will meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Gaze forward at your hands and step or float your feet up to meet your hands. Sit your hips back, coming into your chair pose. Breathe here. Weighting your heels, slide your left leg back, coming into your high lunge. Bend your left knee, straighten it. Bend and tap the floor, straighten it. Bend and tap. 2 more. Reach those arms up. Oh, open and up and open and up. Step back into your curtsy lunge and then step into your high lunge. I skipped the power lunge. There's that power lunge. Now curtsy lunge, high lunge, curtsy lunge, high lunge. Slow it down so that you can manage your wobbles. 1 more. And we'll land in our curtsy lunge. I know our legs are burning. It's okay. We're almost done. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bring your left leg up into tree. High tree or low tree. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Breathe. Bring your left knee forward. Extend your left leg back, coming into warrior 3. Spine parallel with the floor. Flex your left toes. And then exit into warrior 2. Right knee bent, left leg straight. Straighten your right leg, tap your hands overhead. Exhale, melt back down. Lengthen and straighten. Exhale, melt back down. Lengthen and straighten. And melt. 1 more. Beautiful. Turn your right palm up. Exhale back, peaceful warrior. Big stretch through your side body. Come back to warrior 2. Turn your left heel in, straighten your legs. Flying warrior, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, goddess. Lengthen and straighten. Exhale, goddess. Reach up for the stars. Exhale, pull them down. Find your power. 1 more. And then we'll exit back into warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down. Plant your left, lift your left heel, plant your left hand, twist up to the right. Stay here or continue this by coming into side plank on your left side. You can make it a supported side plank or a full side plank. It is up to you. And then bring your right arm down, full high plank. Go through your vinyasa, and we will meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. All right, let's wind this down with some pigeon. So float your right leg up behind you. Draw your right knee towards your right elbow. Lengthen your left leg back. Sit down, open your heart forward. Try and find some space in your lower back before you fold forward. And then slowly, as you fold forward, think about reaching your chest out further in front of you. Coming down all the way onto the mat or onto a block or pillow. If you need some extra cushion under your right hip, you can go ahead and place that there. Now your heart rate might be a little elevated, your breath might be a little heavy. See if you can start to bring that back in and slow that back down. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Place your forehead so that it makes a connection, whether it's with your hands or with a block. And then just like at the beginning of class, give your third eye a tiny little massage by moving your head side to side. Bring your attention to your left leg. Can you straighten and lengthen that left leg at all? Breathe deeper into the right hip. Come up halfway onto your forearms. Come up onto your hands, straightening your arms, and then roll onto your right hip. So your left leg stays extended. And your right foot comes to the inside of your right thigh. You can sit up on a blanket if you need to. Sit up nice and tall here. Reach your arms out into a T. Breathe in. On your exhale, twist towards your left toes. Your nose towards your big toe. And then exhale, fold forward. Reaching for your ankle, or your toes, or your calf. Whatever works for you. Thinking about coming up and over. Rounding. Relaxing. Breathing. Roll yourself back up, turn back towards a straight spine, reach your arms out into a T. Place your left arm inside your left leg, reach your right arm up to the ceiling, feeling the twist and the opening through your torso, and now bring your right arm over towards your left toes. Maybe you can bend your torso, maybe not. Maybe you need a block underneath your feet, your left arm. Find what feels good. Find what gives you space and opening. One more breath here. Come back up, tee those arms. Bring your right arm behind you and then swing your left arm up, coming into a stargazer, back bend, pressing down with your right shin, balancing with your left heel. And then lower down, coming back into tabletop. Curling your toes under, coming into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Lift the left, lift the left leg up. Sorry, I got my sides confused. Draw the left knee towards the left wrist. Reach the right leg back behind you. Stay here with your heart open. See if you can get your hips to settle before you completely fold forward. Finding space in your chest. And then as you fold down, reaching your chest forward, stretching your arms out in front of you, finding more space between those vertebrae, and coming all the way down so that your forehead is either on the mat or a block or a pillow, but something where you feel that you can let the weight of your head go and you can relax your shoulders. Again, if it felt good for you, you can massage your third eye, rolling your head side to side. Think about reaching your right leg further back behind you, supporting your left hip as needed. Drawing your belly button in and up as you lengthen your tailbone, finding length and space from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Deep, slow breaths. And now start to slowly come back up onto your forearms. And then straighten your arms, pressing the mat away from you. Roll onto your left hip, keeping your right leg out nice and straight. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Reach your arms out into a T as you sit up nice and tall. Twist towards your right foot, bringing your nose towards your big toe, your belly button towards your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, reaching as far as you can. It might be your knee, it might be your calf, it might be your ankle, it might even be the balls of your feet. Let your head hang heavy. Feel the space grow from your lower back to the crown of your head. then start to slowly roll up, bringing those arms back into a T, sitting up nice and tall. Bend your right arm, place it inside your right leg, reach your left arm straight up to the ceiling. Find that opening through your torso. And then exhale, bring your left arm towards your right toe, stretching through your side body. Getting nice and long. Come back up, bring your left hand behind you, sweep your right arm up, opening into your stargazer. Pressing your hips up, finding a back bend. And then lower your hips down. Swing your legs out in front of you, bending your knees up to the ceiling. Reach your arms out past your knees. We're going to slow roll down to a count of 10, 9, 8. Find that core engagement. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head on the mat, spine straight, knees bent. Windshield wiper your legs side to side. And bring them back to center. Check the placement of your feet. You should be able to tickle your heels with your big toe. We're going to go through a series of bridges. So our first one, we're going to roll up lower body, middle body, upper body, holding here, breathing. Press down into the big toe and the pinky toe, finding space. And then slowly roll down. Let your knees swap, windshield wiper side to side, or let your knees touch and your feet open, coming into a constructive rest. Return your feet if you move them, setting up for your second and final bridge pose. Start to peel your hips up, lower back, middle back, upper back, pressing into your shoulders. Your chin is reaching up to the ceiling. Your chest is reaching towards your chin. Maybe you interlace your fingers and shimmy your shoulder blades together, giving you more space to get into a deeper back bend. Make sure you're pressing into your big toe, your pinky toe, the 3 in between, the heel of your foot. Two more long, slow breaths here, seeing where you can grow this pose. And then slowly come all the way down. You can let your knees rock side to side, or you can bring them together for a constructive rest. At this point, we're going to draw our knees into our armpits. Maybe rock gently side to side. If you like happy baby and it feels good for you and your body, you can reach for the outer edges of your feet and then bring the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Rocking here side to side. If you prefer a different wind down stretch, go ahead and take that now. And if there's anything that we didn't get to that your body is craving today, go ahead and do that also. And a couple more breaths here. And then slowly bring your legs down to the mat, your arms down to the mat. We're going to extend one leg away from us, extend the other, extend one arm, extend the other. Breathe in, exhale, feel your body get heavy. Bring your attention to your feet and your legs. Tighten all the muscles in your legs. Squeeze your toes. Curl everything in. And then exhale, let it go. Bring your attention to your hips and your torso. Tighten, squeeze your butt. Draw your belly button in. Feel like you're wearing this corset. Squeeze. And then exhale, let it all go. Bring your attention to your hands and your arms. Place your thumb in your palm. Wrap your fingers around it. Squeeze your thumb. Engage your forearms, your biceps, your triceps, tightening every muscle in your arm from the fingertips to the shoulders. And then exhale, let it go. Relax. Bring your attention to your chest, your shoulders, your back. Squeeze and engage. Hold in. Tense it up, tighten, and then exhale, let it go. Bring the attention to your neck, your face, your head. Engage the muscles of your neck, squeeze the muscles of your face, purse your lips, scrunch your cheeks, close your eyes, tighten your scalp, and then let it go. From the top of your head all the way down through your body, through your chest, your torso, your hips, your legs, your toes, your fingers. Engage and squeeze every muscle in towards your center. Squeeze it in, tighten it up, engage, 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 and then let it go. Shake it out and let it relax. Moving into your stillness. You're welcome to stay here as long as you want. I will stay here for a few minutes and then guide you out. You're ready to come out. Start to slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Let your head rock gently side to side. Open and close your jaw. Reach your arms overhead, taking a big stretch. And then roll onto one side. From here, gently press yourself up into a seated position. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. A big inhale. And exhale it all out. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, feel the life moving around inside of you. Thank your body for everything that it's done. Thank yourself for showing up and taking care of your body. I thank you and appreciate you for letting me lead you through this practice. Namaste.